Hey guys, so you're getting 2 videos today. 2. We're at Nora My Messy Hair. This is the first video, which is one that I'm really excited to film because I realized that I don't give enough, on my experience of, kind of just my path of, training to be a pop star. I give stuff out and, but more, I want to, kind of hit on that, but more on things that I don't always talk about, what goes on for me in class, when I'm training on Zoom, at Nora My Messy Hair. Make sure you subscribe, turn on the post notification. The second video that I'm filming today is talking about the squad and kind of just sharing my theories of, what I think is going on. Because there are, here's the thing, and that, you'll just stay tuned for that video. But, make sure you subscribe, turn on the notifications at Nora My Messy Hair. Yesterday I had dance, and a lot goes on in class for me, but, and here's the thing, a lot goes on in class and outside of class. So, yesterday, I made the decision I really want to get my handstand. And I also wanted to work on a backflip because of the fact that in one of the squad's recent videos, Web Cameron's recent video, Jensen taught a little bit about how to get a backflip. And I want to work on it and just see. Turns out it's really easy, it's really easy steps, and not a lot of steps to get it, it's just, it's really hard, and I'm not gonna, it's really hard for me to do, I'm just gonna keep working on it. I'm not gonna say how, because I wanna, encourage you to go watch their video on Left Camera's channel. Oh, and the video is entitled, learning a new skill every hour, and it's in there. I think it's it's one of the first few, it's kind of near the beginning, but not the first one. And so a lot goes in. I want to work on handstands and backflips, so I literally I got ready and got logged on almost an hour early. Just so I could work on tricks and stuff, because it doesn't hurt to have the extra practice. And I was so excited because my handstand actually improved. So I never really I would always work on the kick up part, because that's where I was struggling. Turns out, now that's not the problem. Now the problem is I kick up too hard or something. I kick up so hard that I just come back down But before I couldn't even whenever I would do the kick up, I would get close, but I couldn't kick up to the handstand fully. So that has made some improvement, which is good, and that's what hard work does. Also, I want to spend the hour not only working on flips, back flips, because apparently they're easier than front flips, and handstands, but also any other tricks, obviously, that I felt and also I wanted to also kind of just improv with nobody watching, and just kind of just get me in the mood, get me feeling great, because that's something big, is that with me every once in a while, whenever this happens mainly with acro, where whenever I'm struggling with some form of trick or something, and because in class, as on Mondays, I have 45 minutes worth of it. And so, whenever I'm in class on Monday, I have 45 minutes where I'm continuously going, no breaks. and no breaks even for hydration. Like I know that is something that is great is that like if Abby does allow it, like if we tell her we are allowed to have like a very quick like a restroom break or like bathroom break, like, which is great if we tell her. But like that's the thing with class is that like we usually don't get breaks. So like out of like the 5 hour like Monday, in which I haven't been able to do in forever, and the first reasoning was we had about a month worth, or maybe a little bit more, or a little bit less, Dancing with the Stars, and my schedule like kind of conflicted but not really, which is that Dancing with the Stars would come on at 8 and I would get out of dance at 8, so I would always like log off early so I could like actually get changed and out of like dance clothes, which is just like dance shorts and like crop tops, that sort of thing, because that's normal dance clothes. Like that's just like what dancers usually wear, that or leotards, and some like, and then there's some dancers that like don't, like they don't even change when it's just class, because I guess I don't really know their reasoning from my perspective. I think it's just being lazy. I don't know. And I'm not gonna complain about that though, because I've been there, I've done that, and that's usually me on Wednesdays. So, when I say that, I'm also throwing that at myself. So, yeah. And so, like, a lot goes on in and outside of class. And then I had, like, internet problems a lot of the time. Luckily, that is fixed thanks to a magical internet, like, device thingy that my dad got off of Amazon, I think. I don't know. But, yeah, because my room hates the internet. And so anytime I, like, come back here to film, like, TikToks or something, and the iPad, like, takes forever and it's, like, slow and it hates the internet, and then the computers don't like it too much. Like, it's a thing. But now that's fixed. But, like, literally when I'm in, then, and, like, out of, like, a 5-hour day, and we get maybe, if we're lucky, we'll get, like, 2 breaks. 2, like, quick, like, and by quick, I mean, like, we have, not joking, like, 1 minute to, like, get hydrated, do what we need to do in that 1 minute, and get back ready to go. But usually we get 1. And that's not, like, them, like, being, like, hard or anything on this. It's just generally that, and it's, like, their way of, like, teaching us to, like, think smart. Or meaning, like, get prepared ahead of time, like, hydrate before class. Like, those sort of things. So we usually have to go through Abby before we go, like, before we even get a break. And then usually only we'll get through Abby on Mondays, and we'll, like, sometimes Abby won't, like, get to both sides, like, when it comes to the stuff at the bar, because Abby gets sidetracked sometimes, and what I mean by that is sometimes she'll get so into, like, a certain class, or just working on, like, a certain thing, that she kind of, like, goes overtime on it, and basically, like, we won't get, when it comes to, like, bar, which is which is kind of the chance where we work on, like, certain, like, fan kicks and bon mots and, like, different things, and our ponches. I used to be really bad at them. Like, I used to, like, when I first started, I, like, barely, like, first off, I didn't know what ponche was. Second off, I barely could do one, and I would always fall over and be a hot mess. For those who don't know what ponche is, it's kind of what you do is it starts where you basically what Pache is you stand on one foot with one leg behind you, and then you slowly lean forward until your body is perfectly aligned, meaning the leg behind you is straight up in the air in what can be considered a standing split or so many different things, whatever you call them. And so your body should be in a split position, like your legs should, and you should be able to put your hand on the ground, even though that is allowed, but it's like it looks cooler and it looks more like and it looks more like there's more work put into it. Sorry, I just said it looks more like so many times. If you don't use your hands, because then it looks a little bit more professional and like you actually put more work and like a little more advanced. But there's no problem with putting your hands down. And also a great little tip that you can use if you need to is for like balancing yourself out. So if you want to like work on like doing it with no hands on the ground, but you like are struggling with that a little bit, a great little tip that you can use is when you first start it, and do this. So put one arm above yourself, like straight up behind you, and one arm like towards the ground but not touching the ground as like a great little training exercise. Because then if you do follow your hands like there, so it helps you out a little bit. It's a great little tip. So, yeah. But a lot goes on in class. And so, like, sometimes we'll, like, get to Alyssa, and then Abby won't, like, or she'll have ran out of time to do the other side. So, Alyssa will do it with us just because it's important to do both sides equally. Or else one side's gonna be way better than your other side, and as dancers, unfortunately, this is something that I struggle with. Both sides should be equally. You shouldn't have a good side, and you shouldn't have a bad side. And I say this isn't the easiest for me because on the fact that like I can turn on my right side and it's like really good. I'm really good at jumps and turns, and especially on my right side. But it's kind of this weird thing of where I kick off better on my left side for like different jumps. But then I turn better on my right side. My left side I can't even get a full turn in. Like it's a hot mess. I am working on it. I've been working on it for like almost a year now, and not much improvement. And it's not that I'm not like trying or anything. It's I don't know what it is. I'm gonna continue working on it and try to fix it. And so like there's a lot that goes into like it, but something else that goes on in class. I want to talk a little bit more about like what goes on for me in acro class, because that is something different. Which is basically with acro class, and a lot happened for me, and like it's a lot of the same old. So like literally like the first thing that happens before class even starts, before or anyone logged on, is I lay out my mat because safety first. And then another thing that like goes on is like right before class, as when people are like logged on, but like it's not quite time for class yet, and I do some stretching and stuff, and I do some psyching out where I like pull out some jumps, some turns and stuff, just to get everyone on there scared. Get them scared, because that's what psyching someone out is. Abby said this is a very good quality to have because when you can psych out your competition, it makes it like kind of in a way not sabotaging but slightly sabotaging. So it's not necessarily considered sabotage, but it can be. Basically what it means is to get your like competitor or your competition scared. So hopefully only to get them to get in their head and make them like kind of scared because you're really good. You kind of want to make them think, oh wait, this person's really, really good. I'm not going to be able to beat this person. And it kind of just gets them a little bit scared. So sometimes it messes them up, sometimes it doesn't. But it's a fun little, for some reason I just have fun with it. So I always do it just to keep that skill ready to go. Then another thing that happens is generally another thing that happens is just generally only like I've been acro class starts, Abby starts off with like a few base with a quick little warm up just to get like ready. Like this version of a warm up I don't mind. So literally what she does is it's kind of like a warm up and stretch that's really, really quick and takes like not even 2 minutes to do, where she just has her like roll out her hands, a couple jumping jacks, a couple high knees, just a few basic things. And the point behind this is because if we don't do this, we can seriously hurt ourselves in acro class. So safety first. And then a lot goes on. So for me in acro class, Abby, like after we do all of that, then she'll I start with some very basic tricks involving sometimes like some handstand stuff, which for me it's just a chance to work on kicking up into a handstand. In which yesterday I actually managed to kick up, but I kicked up so hard every single time that I just came right back down. Because I couldn't stay. So that is a problem that needs fixing. Then, in a couple, now usually she has she's fallen back then, but she usually sets aside for me a push-up back bend because push-up back bends are easier than fallen back bends. And they're closer to my level of something for me to work on. And I say this because, and what I mean by this is you're all probably like, wait, didn't you get your back bend? Like, the truth behind that is, so this one day, I don't really know. It's the thing because I don't, I don't have a mirror, in my room that's, where I, close to the ground or where I can actually, see myself, do, acro class. So I have no clue. I know that at the last class before, or basically the last, Monday class before Christmas, and she basically, or wait, no, it was the last class. So, she basically had me working on some, other back bend tricks that are still very beginner, one, I forget what she called it, but, so kind of what happened, truthfully, I wasn't supposed to be working on it, but it was fine. She didn't care because I, got it pretty good, considering I don't know if I had a back bend. I would, hit a back bend for, a second or get really close to it, and I can do one with the dance hammock, but that's also different because with the dance hammock, I don't have the weight. The weight is completely in the dance hammock, and it's holding all the weight, so I'm just holding the position and not my body weight. I'm holding, like a tiny bit of my body weight, and that's just like the normal thing of like as if I were just standing or like just sitting here. Like, so a lot for me. Then after like all of that stuff, Abby sets aside. Well, she actually told me to work on a trick, and I never heard of the trick. I had no clue what it looked like, and so I just started working on what I thought the trick was. Turns out it was a different trick. Abby was impressed and was really happy. Also, I almost got a straddle, which is fun. Here's the thing, is that I don't have like my split. Well, I basically have my splits coming out this way. And it's just my leg. One leg is where it should be, and the other leg is like, I want to say like maybe half an inch, no more than like half an inch forward. Or so, but if it's good enough for Abby, but also I don't know if Abby can see that because Abby's getting the view of where it's hard for. That's something that I need to seriously fix. I need to seriously fix that now. Oh, okay. I'll fix that tomorrow when I have class. For a second I realized, oh wait, hey, I can give Abby a better view. Just by getting rid of this Girl Scout bucket that I have. And just setting the computer on the ground and just backing up a little bit. I'm gonna try that. I tried that once before and it felt kind of like weird and awkward because I'm used to having the computer up higher. But now I'm like, it might be the best thing. And plus we don't do a ton of standing. Okay, I'll figure that out. But so I just started working on Abby kind of gets the view of where she sees from the front, and so, but from my view, I can kind of see it's like half an inch, which isn't much forward on one leg, but basically it counts. I'm saying it counts because Abby never complained about it, and Abby seems to be impressed by it, so. Also, I feel like if I was really, really warmed up, like I had been stretching and warming up for like 2 hours, then I might be able to hit it like normally. But since we don't have 2 hours of that, and the days that we have like an hour and like 40 minutes of warm up and stretch, and she doesn't do it at the very end. She does it like at some point during the middle. Plus, at North Sound it's raining. So, and I almost have my chest on the ground. I'm not fast at sliding into it, but I can slide into it. It's just I'm not fast. And that makes sense because I only got this a couple weeks ago, and I haven't done like the slide-in version too much. Also, one of the weeks we didn't have dance. So you can't blame me too much. But a lot goes on this. I'm gonna make other parts to this video just on other days, but this one's mainly focused on acro, what goes on in acro for me. Abby really likes me a lot, and that's something that I look at as a good thing. And at one point I looked at it as like a good and like kind of in a way this is a lot situation, but then Abby pet talked me and we've been good ever since. And because it is a lot. It is a lot of work because I know Abby believes in me. Abby speaks to me there are people on there that sometimes she does continuously kind of correct a couple of times, and there are kids on there that she has screamed at. Not in the Dance Moms Abby way. What I mean by that, this happened a couple of times where she doesn't necessarily like scream at them like rude and all of that. Like she actually screams at them in a very good way, and she doesn't talk negative to them. It's more of like she's like, I'm trying to help you here and you're not understanding. And it's like only when she has to like I get on them about it like for the 500th time in like 30 seconds. Like, and that, like, she never, like, let me put it this way, Abby is one of the nicest people I have ever met. I have zero complaints about Abby. Yes, she does sometimes get a little bit more, like annoyed with people, and, like, have to, like, kind of scream at them a little bit. But she never screams at them negatively. She only screams at them positively. And it's like, I'm trying to help you here, and you're not understanding, and you're not bothering to really listen or pay attention to what I'm saying. And that happens. That's her job as a dance teacher. Her job isn't to tell everyone, oh, you've done great, you're the greatest in the world, like, keep up the good work. That's not her job. Her job is to point out your mistakes, tell you how to fix them, and teach you something in dance, and know that at the end of the class she did and exactly what she's supposed to, and she tried to help you become a better dancer. That's her job. Not to be happy, sweet to you. No, because you're never going to learn anything that way. Like, if she were to tell me I'm the greatest and that I don't need to work anymore and all of this, instead of pointing out my mistakes, instead of finding the flaws and telling me how to fix them, I'm never going to get anywhere. I'm never going to improve. I'm never going to get better. And I'm never going to become a pop star that way. That's not how life works. You have to find, her job is to find the flaws and point it out and tell you how to fix them. That's getting me somewhere. Because then I know that I messed up, and I know I made a mistake, and I know how to fix it. So next time, I don't mess up on it, and next time, who knows? Oh, I might be auditioning for her for a scholarship. Like, like, things matter like this. And so for Afro, Abby always sets aside things for me to work on, and that's basically my acro experience. Peace out.